Welcome to the tower. Look, if you're on your spiritual journey and you have been doing the work, the real work, I know you've come across Dr. Joe Dispenza's technique of raising your vibration, transmuting energies from the lower chakras into something higher. Here's what they don't tell you, and here's what nobody goes over. Everybody teaches the technique, and then they think that by doing the technique, that's the end of the story. That could not be further from the truth. Here's the truth. You are going to face everything that you shoved down, all those traumas, all that negative energy. Everything is going to bubble up. That's what doing the work does. The real work is after the technique, after the exercise. So the exercise that I'm talking about is in meditation. You're in deep meditation. You squeeze your lower centers, you squeeze your ass, you squeeze your stomach, and you clench, and you raise that, he calls it prana, chi, whatever you want to call it. You're raising that from those lower chakras into something higher. And what that's going to do is bring up, it's going to bubble up everything you've been shoving down. So I want to explain to you what happened to me when I did this. I was just like you. I thought that sitting there every morning for 20 to 30 minutes was the work. That's the technique. That's the exercise. After doing this for, I don't know, weeks, I had an instance one day where it felt like everything was off. Everything was wrong. Everything was pissing me off. Nothing was going right. I kept having all these thoughts come about my family, my childhood, past experiences. That was what I was trying to do. Don't be afraid of this. Don't think you're broken. Don't think something's wrong. This is why you do the work. In that instance, when I felt these emotions bubble up, it's now your time to let them go. Just let them go. Here's how you do that. You're in meditation. I personally like breathing techniques. The breathing technique that I used, I let everything out. I breathe everything in to my diaphragm. I let those emotions and all that trauma just bubble there. And I held my breath for a good 2 to 3 seconds. And I harnessed that energy. And then I blew it out. But my awareness was right here. That's why he explains so deeply that your awareness should be right here, crown chakra. This is where we let go. This is where we release. We release it by simply becoming aware of it and consciously letting it go. You have to consciously envision those traumas, that energy, that angst, that negativity that you feel. Let it be. Do not fight it. That's where so many people go wrong, is they start fighting it. I've been doing the work. Why is this happening? It's not working. No, it's working perfectly. Perfectly. And you now have the opportunity to allow those emotions to rise up and you let them go. I personally use the breathing technique. There's so many ways you can do this. You can just simply sit there and breathe normal and allow it to be. And as you allow it to be, it will dissipate, but you cannot fight. That's where, when you become emotionally involved with it, when you start fighting it and resisting it, it will only get stronger. Allow them to be let go. All of this stuff that I teach, it's automatic. It's automatic, but you must separate yourself. You must become separate from that which you are trying to let go of and let it be. Bring your awareness to it. Allow it to be for as long as it takes, and it will automatically be let go. Now, this isn't the end of it either. In the future, it might bubble up again. But that is not the true energy bubbling up. You have let that go. Now, you're basically fighting your ego, because your ego is conditioned over decades, years. For me, it was decades. It'll still come back, but now you have that awareness. All you have to do is see it and choose differently. That is the end of the whole process of doing the work. You choose a different path. The things bubble up? Nope, not me. Nope. And that's it. And through repetition, guess what? Your ego will flip-flop to be on your side. But you have to remember, this is a process. I've never seen this happen with anybody overnight and they were just hunky-dory for the rest of their lives. I wouldn't say that that's not possible, but I will say that from the clients that I've worked with and the people that I've shared these techniques with and worked through it with them, this is how it goes. Those are the three things. You do the work, right? The technique, the exercise, and then you do the real work, which is allowing it to be let go of. You transmute these energies. That's exactly what the purpose of this is. And once that's done, it's done. And it may hurt. For me, oh my gosh, I was bawling. I was crying. I had no idea what was going on. I was like in Chat GPT. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? No. Just allow it to be. This is what we do the work for. And this is where the warrior journey begins. That's why I always talk about the spiritual warrior journey. It is so freaking awesome when you learn that that's the battle. The battle is not within, it is letting go. And if you can sit there and if you can just allow these things to be, and it's difficult sometimes because a lot of people have massive trauma. And if you're one of those people, know that when it gets really bad and you've been doing the techniques, the work, the exercises, that's good. This is what we want. And then after you realize that, and then you begin to let go of these things, you will welcome that uneasiness. You'll welcome it because you know that that is the end. And it's so freaking awesome. You start to really believe in yourself. You get the confidence. You know that that's why you're doing this. And it doesn't end. There is no point where you're just perfect and everything is just hunky-dory. No. You are perfect to begin with at birth. As we go through life, we are conditioned. Okay? And brainwashed, if you will. TV, I grew up watching Sesame Street and all this crazy crap that told me all kinds of stupid shit that I did not need in my life. You have to understand. There's people that, I don't know how to say this. There's people where this works quickly, and there's people that need to work through this, because in life, we are built to handle minor traumas, okay? And that's okay. That's just part of life. And life is not a one-way streak. There's always ups and downs, okay? We're built to handle some, but some are massive. And what that does, in our energetic field, it creates a split. And then that piece of energy is split and harnessed in our energy field, in our chakras, depending on what it has to do with and how severe. When we can allow that to be, to come into our awareness, and through this awareness, we now have the light of consciousness. We can view it without it emotionally, without ourselves being emotionally involved in it. And oh my God, when you can create that separation, you will just watch your life change, because all those things that were running you for freaking ever, they just start to float away. And the better you get at meditation, meditation is by far the most powerful skill that we can acquire. It is literally the godsend. You become so powerful. You're unstoppable. But you have to go in. That's the inner work. You do that inner work, and your life will greatly change beyond what you can even imagine. So let me touch on that for a second. The ways that your life will change, you can imagine scenarios and build your life, and think that you are harnessing the reins of manifestation, which in a way you are, but you're always manifesting. You're always manifesting every day. You can't help but do it. You aren't going to just become better and better at manifesting. You already are the best that you can ever be. Harness it. Okay? So, when you start to envision your life the way you think it should be after these emotions happen, after you let them go, it's never, well, I shouldn't say never. Most of the time, it is not like what you would expect at all. At all. But that's good, because it relieves you from expectation. You don't need to expect or, think that it's supposed to happen this way, the how, the what. Screw all that. Screw all that. Live in the openness of your true I am. When you do that, all of these traumas, all of these negative energies that you have been doing the work to bubble up to then let go of, become so much easier. It's so much easier. I have seen people completely change their lives from sitting in silence for just a short period of time. You don't need days, you don't need weeks. You literally only need a day or two just to find that center, just to find that place. Once you find that place, then meditation becomes your freaking superpower. I meditate all the time. I'm never going to stop. And even Joe Dispenza says this: if you knew how powerful it was to do this, would you ever miss a day? And when I heard that, I thought, okay, well, is it really that powerful? Seeing is believing. That's the way I used to be. You don't need to see it to believe it. You just need to know. And the knowing comes from doing the work and watching what happens. It bubbles up. It becomes a battle. And I hate to put it in that I hate to put it that way, but that's the truth. You will have times when it's hard. It will be excruciating. And the deeper your trauma, the more you have, the more you're going to have to work through it. And this is the real work. So don't think that just sitting there and doing the thing, doing the exercise, the meditation, or scripting, or affirming, that's all you have to do. Because it's not. The real work comes after that. And through meditation is where we win this battle. Because it is no surprise. If you still think that this is all woo-woo, this is bullshit, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to keep watching other people's channels and stay in that spiritual loop of, oh, I think I'm spiritual, I want to be. That's not how it happens. You have to take the lead. You have to. Okay? I don't care whose channel you watch, we're all saying the same thing. And the same thing is you need to start taking accountability for your life. If you are in your life where you don't desire, that's because of you. Okay? And doing any meditation or scripting or any kind of technique is not going to do anything but bubble all that up that has brought you to this place in the first place. When you do that, that is when your life changes. Don't rely on YouTubers. Don't rely on coaches. Don't rely on techniques. Okay? You have to make the shift in your head. And a lot of coaches will tell you this. Go all in. But what does that mean? That means you are going all in no matter what. If I do this exercise and I have to relive this massive trauma that I've been pushing down my whole life, guess what? I'm game. Because I'm a warrior. That is the warrior's journey. That is what you're here to do. To remember who you are. Get through that muck. Remember who you freaking are. When you get to that point, that is going all in. Because you welcome it. I can't stress that enough. You welcome the pain. You welcome those times when you just can't do anything today. I feel drained. I feel off. I'm not going to work out. I'm going to overeat. Those are those days. Those are those days when you just step away and realize that the reason this is happening is because you did the work. And now the warrior work begins. Food for thought, my friend. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to work with me. There's also a free meditation that'll help you get into that centered space. I call it the portal meditation. You travel through the portal of the mind to the real you. Welcome home, my friend.